am Rion, your host here for Team Light Talks, and it is an absolute pleasure to be with you here today, December 20th, 2014. I have just recently returned home from Germany, adjusting some timelines down there in Bavaria, Austria, and southern Germany. Adjusted some things down at the Salzburg Castle, amazing place, one of the largest castles on Earth that has been gridded, aligned, and adjusted. We also visited the Eagle's Nest over in Germany. And I wanted to give you guys some insights on some of the stuff that's been going on behind the scenes, from the planetary and solar guardians down through the high angelics and back down here to us. All right, the galactics, right? Whenever you step into a territory, the first thing that any conscious being must do is view the consciousness that is actually being streamlined through the airwaves. As you become more conscious and as you become more aware, you can actually begin to feel the history that has taken place in a certain... To understand that feeling and that vibration of understanding comes from feeling through your heart. The mind can trick you. The mind can lie to you. The mind can be mischievous. The mind can be used to create illusion. The heart does not. I say this because people need to know how powerful their hearts are. Here's a visual for you. When you first begin to activate and wake up, and, basically imagine you are wrapped up in a bunch of density. That's the easiest way to say that. But as you begin to activate all your different chakras and activate your kundalini, your shakti, right? Turn on that third eye, turn on your throat chakra, turn on your hands, turn on your crown, right? Activate your lower filters, your lower buffers. If you guys want to think about your lower chakras as filters, that'd be a lot easier way to understand them. Your root chakra, your sacral, your stomach, or solar plexus, on your way up to your heart. Whenever processing lower densities, understand that these filters, these chakras, are there to serve that purpose. When you're pulling energy from the ground with your left foot, and you pull energy up into your body, understand that those filters are there for a reason. You always want to, the easiest go-to for anyone who's actually moving large amounts of energy, my fellow planetary guardians out there, is definitely use your stomach as a large reservoir and filter before you pump that energy to your heart, your throat chakra, or your third eye. It helps greatly in understanding that. Each of your chakras exists on a different bandwidth. Each of your chakras, it has its own firewall safety settings, and each of your chakras, when they are able to work independently of one another, and then as one, create the entire system in which that conscious template is then engaged. Hence, there are no more question marks. You can actually feel and jack into, literally like the Matrix, your environment. All right, that being said, your heart now is very, very, very conscious. So if you want a visual of how I do this now, I will explain it to you. On my light and night side, on my highest light, my big Lyran, who looks over me as my great caretaker here. Make sure I don't break too many things down here. And all over to my highest night side, who comes from the opposite side of this galaxy. His short name is Romp. He's my 15D, 16D now. Sorry, he got upgraded. Amazing brother, who older brother, I should say, who allows me to be here right now with you guys. When that call went out to the universe that Earth needed some assistance, the interaction between my higher selves in understanding how this vessel, how your vessel, wishes to create their own reality around them through their own manifestation abilities. The heart is the governor in which you wish to create with. Hence, what I mean is, all true creator beings must feel what they create. And why is this? Why is it so important to be able to feel when you create something with your heart? Well, because you need to be able to feel how your creation is going to affect the whole. You need to feel, not only in this present moment, but for future timelines as well. You need to be able to feel if this is a good manifestation, which can benefit all of mankind, or if this is a self-motivated creation, which has a certain timeline in which it will be utilized. However, throughout the duration of the universe and time as we know it, may fade away. The things that are created with love remain. The things that are created out of balance remain. The things that wish to create harmony remain. Now, back to the visual. I'm now able to, everyone's talked about this inner child. Like, what is this inner child? And who is this inner child? And how do I utilize my inner child? And how do I find happiness? All right, well, I got a little visual for you, a little shortcut for you in understanding what this is. Okay. Hi, my name is Rion. I like to visualize my inner child as about a 6 or 7 year old blonde-haired boy. All right, he's little bro. I call him my little Grom. It's a surfer term for a little guy, little dude. But Rion, my little inner self, inner child, he's my connection to Creator. And through his innocence and pure light, he's the one who actually guides my other aspects of myself back towards the center. For he is what truly makes me happy inside. When my inner child is happy, I am happy. When my inner child wants a cookie, get him a cookie. When my inner child wants to drink some apple juice, give him some apple juice. Okay, that's pretty much tea, apple juice, and cookies. All right. Organic, by the way. Gotta bake them yourself. Anyways, moving on. What I'm trying to get to is that inside of you, your inner child, visualize, he or she, right? Little, between 5 to 7 year old child. Now, that child is directly mainlined into your heart. And that child can see and view unbiasedly about what's going on in their environment. He can see how the beings around you are treating one another. He can feel the vibration of love. He can also jack into all of the vibration of other hearts, which are also on. Now, what I do now is that, mind you, I don't do this when I'm in a gnarly situation, when I'm having to take care of business, hence why I was called to this planet, right? But when I'm here back in Sedona, and I am processing some of the stuff that I just witnessed and some of the gnarliness of it, it's almost kind of like having PTSD for all you guys who come back from the wars. When you guys are really shifting consciousness and actually going toe-to-toe against the consciousness that's here on this planet. I speak to this in very common terms because I want you to understand some of you may be asked to do this. I feel it is my job to aid and facilitate those who truly walk in the Adjustment Bureau. Not the movie, right? But those who are actually here to aid in facilitating harmony being restored on Earth. I want you to understand now from your brother how to rebalance yourself when you come home from a situation like that, or when you've experienced something very gnarly, dynamic, negative, let's just say. Well, little Rion, right, which is jacked into my heart, imagine that he is in front of me, right? Within my wings, totally guarded, totally protected. But he lets me know if there's anything out of order around me. He lets me know if this person is a friend or if this person doesn't have their heart on yet. He lets me know what type of beings I'm dealing with simply through what if their hearts are on and if he can communicate with them. Now imagine a huge paladin, armored up, wings out, big ass sword, shield on my right shoulder, helmet is awesome, looks like something out of Valhalla, standing behind him. That is the rest of me. But he is my little filter into this consciousness. He is my little window in feeling what's going on. It's important to utilize your heart or visualize your heart in that way. And this is why. When you can feel things with your heart, you can feel the truth in this illusion. You see through the illusion when you feel with your heart. Okay? You can see which things have validity in being in this consciousness and which things may have served a motivational purpose for a short amount of time, but as far as the whole is concerned, some things that need to shift. Okay. When I entered into Germany, I had no idea that I was staying in one of the number one Nazi retirement camps on earth, Ruhpolding, Germany. I had no idea that that's where Hitler's girlfriend was buried. I had no idea that there was a private train that would take him from the Eagle's Nest all the way into where I, right into the town where I was staying for his little winter retreat. I had no idea. I went in there as a child with my heart open, obviously my shield's up, but I didn't carry any of that biasness into the situation. Something inside of me is letting me know how old I really am and how many battlefields or how many timelines I've truly stared at. Something inside of me is ancient. Something inside of me has been to many planets. Something inside of me breathes with the wind. Something inside of me feels the sun expand inside of my body. Something inside of me is far older than I can comprehend. All right? And this same type of a force exists in you as well. How do you find balance? How do you find happiness? How do you find joy and bliss in any one moment? As long as your inner child is happy, so shall you be. I know you guys might have heard some of those statements Big J said. I love Big J. For you guys who don't know, my reference to Big J, I meant Jesus, my brother Jesus, commander of the angels. You know him, you love him, he's amazing, all right? But there's been many Jesuses throughout history. When I say Big J, I talk about the being that showed up and handled business about 2,000 years ago, and the same family which has walked the earth with us through Buddha's timeline, Muhammad's timeline, many awesome timelines, Horus, good old Isis, Osiris, depending how far back you want to go. Now, I know you guys, if you ever looked up the similarities in the stories, I'll start spanning back from Egypt with the story of Horus, flash forwarding to different timelines. It's the same family, ladies and gentlemen, with different incarnations in different timelines. All right. Little secret for you. Figure that one out. Now, to all my brethren and fellow brothers and sisters across earth, I just want you to know that these adjustments are taking place right now. The order and operation of balance is taking place right now. And your family, which has been upstairs for quite some time watching you, right, is here on the surface with us right now. So I hope that makes you feel good inside. It makes me feel good inside. Sometimes I'm in my backyard and, talking to the elders, the guardians of Sedona, which are awesomely majestic, by the way. We have a lot of fun, especially when we go into a new territory. You're kind of popping and locking with your wings, your armor's all glistening in the sun, and you show up a different territory. They're like, what is that? You're like, oh, you don't know about this? Na, boom. There's all kinds of awesomeness living in Sedona. I just want you guys to know that. But in your activations and upgrades, to understand that wherever you find your home to be, you could be in Machu Picchu, Manu Picchu, you could be down there in Lake Titicaca, you could be down there in South America, you could be in some holy sites in North America, you could be up in Canada, the UK, you can be in Glastonbury, you can be in Bosnia, you can be in Sarajevo, you can be up in the mountains in Jammu Kashmir, up in India, you can be in China, Australia, Uluru, wherever you are. I speak to you now. Find that truth inside of yourself and understand that only that inner child that resides inside your heart, right, is what truly can balance you and make you happy. For as Big J said, you can only go back to heaven as a child. You want to know why? People say things, but they're like, I don't know. They don't really fill in the blanks. I'll tell you why. I know. You have to go back as a child because a child is innocent. A child doesn't judge. A little 5-year-old would walk up to a Tyrannosaurus Rex and would, pet his foot. He has no fear of whatever that is. Zero fear. That fear hasn't been taught yet. That experience hasn't been made. But to understand that, to be a being that truly has no fear of anything, this is what I speak of. And having that trust in Creator and that love in your heart, and that burns as 1,000 suns as you expand into this consciousness. These types of things are the elder things that we all need to remember. All right. Salzburg Castle was an amazing experience, one of the largest castles on Earth, and definitely gridded, aligned, and balanced that place. And thanks to all my fellow Sidonians, my team out here, and my global team, my team in Eastern France that also worked on Europe's Heart Chakra. And for all those guys who had my back when we were out there working, always understand that you are always stronger as a unit. Okay? The age of the guru or the age of the one is over. It has always been a team effort since the beginning of time. Just want you guys to also know that. Every single awesome being who's ever stepped foot on this planet always brings a support team with them. I don't know if logically, if you're going to incarnate on Earth, you might want to bring some backup. Just a heads up for you. That's just logical. So I just really greatly love and appreciate my team here on Earth and my galactics that oversee, and the planetary guardians, which... I don't know. The planetary guardians here on Earth are so awesome, you guys. I just can't wait for you guys to turn your third eyes on, and look up. And yeah, they're huge. It's amazing. They're big boys and gals out there. But I want you to know that my kinship and what I feel is home for me is of that stature. When you guys are going through and integrating all of your light and night selves and your different higher selves, understand that each one of those higher selves, let's just say each one of your higher selves holds a Blu-ray disc. Okay? Let's call this Blu-ray disc an aspect of your DNA that you are remembering and integrating into your system. Let's say each of those experiences, each of your higher selves, each of those Blu-ray discs, as you begin to read from multiple discs simultaneously, you can find the perfect fit to what you are experiencing or the action that needs to take place. Meaning that one of your higher selves may be the greatest healer on your stream. One of your higher selves may hold that divine feminine light that you need to balance that light warrior. One of your aspects may be that great warrior that protects and serves. And that divine masculine, for me, and what that means. A divine masculine is one that protects, loves, is courageous, but knows what is most important. And that is to protect the innocence of Creator's creation. Because only through protecting that do you get that level of creation that comes from his creation. For example, you can have a little puppy, right? By the way, I'm just making an analogy here, okay? You could have a little baby puppy, and unfortunately, the handler of that puppy may have been really weird to it or negative to it when it was really young, let's just say. So what happens is you show up to the dog pound to get that dog, and you can see the love in that little dog's heart, but that dog has been hurt. There's something weird. Something happened. When you go to pet it, it kind of shrieks. You're like, where did you learn that? Who did this to you? Where did this come from? Okay? But you take that dog home, you adopt that dog, that sheltered dog, and you show that dog the most amount of love that you possibly could. He's got the best food, you take him on walks, you cuddle him, you might take a while before he'll actually sleep with you in bed, hang out with you. But you show that little puppy the maximum amount of love, and guess what? Eventually, that puppy will forget the pain and experience that it had gone through in his younger years. Well, I can say that in human consciousness here on the surface of this world, there have been many conflicts. There have been many things that we as a collective have experienced together, and in that separation experience. But what I can tell you is that from my heart, I hold space, and I know that the amount of love that is necessary to fix this equation and make us all happy once again as one unit is actually here right now. And that love is found inside of your heart. That love is found in a hug. That love is found in a smile. That love is found in the love behind your eyes when you're truly looking at someone that you love. That love is when you come home for the holidays and you haven't seen your mom or your family for a long time and you give them a hug and say, it's so good to be home. That type of love is real. So, in the same way as you begin to feel that once again, just understand that Gaia is alive and she loves us very, very much. And she just wants us to learn how to love one another once again. To understand that love is what we all have deep inside of us. And no matter what experiences we have gone through as a collective, that love will always be there to show us the way back into our hearts and our way home. And for all of us who are here right now, you are very, very brave and courageous and the strongest of the strong to have experienced what you have experienced here on earth and chosen to step into the light and come back home. Okay? God, Creator, Prime Creator, Yahweh, whatever that is for you, okay? Allah, whatever it is. These are just vocabulary terms, ladies and gentlemen, to try to explain something that is unexplainable. Okay? That force of creation, that force and love from our Creator is so immense that as soon as you are able to shed off this density and you are able to feel that once again, nothing else compares. No experience, no being, nothing compares to that eminent light which courses through you like 1,000 suns. There is nothing like it. Okay? So always remember that the key to getting back into Creator's kingdom, right, is that inner child. Remember that inner child is your heart. That inner child, that projection monitors your environment. And when you can be as a child again, I don't care if you're 50, 60, 70, 80 years old in this suit right now, inside of you is that inner child. It does not matter how old you are in the flesh. That inner child is what governs your happiness. Okay? So I want you to know that that inner child is growing inside of you as the light grows inside of you. I would also like you to know that every 7 years, your cells change, right? They've proven this in science, right? I want to explain to you how to raise your resonance, your resting state. As your cells begin to hold more light in your body, okay, it also allows you to raise your resonant frequency. The more light your cells can hold, the higher your vibration, the higher your resonance. That is why it's so important when you're working on balancing your chakras, clearing your vessel, removing the heavy metals and toxins, absorbing more light from the sun, charging as much as you can, getting outside, breathing the fresh air, the stuff that's not chemtrailed, right? But really taking care of yourself. Okay? The deal is that when you remember how important it is to treat your temple, your body, your mind, body, and spirit as one, as you remember to absorb that light, you never have to go back to where you came from. I remember when I first woke up in Los Angeles, climbing out of the pit, or out of this density for 6 hours every single night for 8 months straight. I remember having to climb my light cord every single night to get out of this density in Los Angeles. Okay? I remember that. I have that experience. I walked that path. And I'm here to tell you, for all you guys that are new, just waking up, climb that light cord, baby. Up, up, up. The higher the frequency, the easier it is to move around. So a little heads up for you. Take care of your vessels. And as your vibration raises, also will be the things you're attracted to. The people your friends, your family, your experiences. All of a sudden, instead of going out and partying on a Friday or Saturday night, you'd prefer actually saving your money and going to camping out in Yosemite National Park or a local park around you, or, saving your money up for a trip and going to visit Manu or Machu Picchu, or doing something else, is what I'm saying. Something grander, something greater. So everything happens in stages, and just know that. And that's totally normal. But I'm here to remind you that it does get easier. And as your vibration raises, you begin to actually truly see where we're living, what this template is, and how to facilitate, the agreement we made upon incarnating here to aid Gaia in raising her vibration, aiding the vibration of our brothers and sisters, and doing that with the highest intent. So I love and appreciate every single one of you. I just want you guys to know that from my heart. And Germany was a complete and an amazing experience. The heart line of Europe has been balanced and opened. And the light teams are currently working on that right now. The crown ship, which rotates over southern Europe, is doing an amazing job in maintaining that resonance. And hopefully, in the near future, that big old crown ship can make its way over to the U.S. As soon as the fear mode stuff kind of slows down over here. Understand how the upper dimensionals view the 3D. And when I ask, them for aid for my brothers and sisters, they always tell me that, aid comes when the vessel requests it. You have to request. You have to will things into existence with your own manifestation abilities, which are locked away inside of you. Okay? Ask and you shall receive. So with that, my family, ask for love, abundance, and bliss to enter your life daily. Make that your little daily mantra. Ask your guides, your angelics, your higher selves to heal you, work on you, aid in accelerating your timeline, aid in accelerating those connection points in your DNA, re-engage that 12-strain DNA, and step back into your power. My name is Rion. It's a pleasure talking to you. Love you guys. You guys can check out some more information at teamlight.com. There's a couple different channels on YouTube. You got Unite the Collective, you got Team Light, and you have Ascension League. If you guys would like to do a little one-on-one session with your brother, you can check out the link provided at ascensionleague.com. And for all you guys wanting to accelerate the dream time astral projection, definitely check out my dream sets on galacticwands.com. I built those just for that purpose. So I love you guys very much, and I can't wait to see how these new activations are going to unfold, and it's a pleasure to be of service here on Earth. Blessings.
Eyes closed and dreams go free. Got an angel next to me. Hold me close so I can breathe. Let me go so I can live. Where do we go from here? Take me far away, so we can stop the time, and love will take its place. Where do we go?